Who's your emergency contact? Who should we notify in the case of death? Welcome to the USP, where I spent the last 2+ decades of my life. Right now we're in bloody Beaumont. I've been taking you through a journey with me through all the penitentiaries I've been. I got caught up in Victorville. I got sent to Beaumont on a disciplinary transfer. Bloody Beaumont, the first day I got there, the Texas MA and the white boys got into it on the softball field. So they let me out. I finally went to a cell about 12:30 at night. Then we were locked down for a couple weeks. As soon as we came out, people got butchered. The white boys that didn't jump in during the confrontation with the Texas MA, all of them got butchered and ran up top. So at this time, every time you fish into a new prison, they have a review where you meet with the SIS, which is, I think it stands for Secret Investigation Service. They're like the internal affairs of the penitentiary. They're the police. They're the one that can refer an indictment. They investigate you, they can arrest you, and they can arrest staff and refer them to the FBI for a street indictment. But we haven't had a review yet because shit's always popping off over there in Beaumont. So finally, when we come out, they scheduled me for a SIS review. Now, the whole time I've been in the penitentiary, I've been on a pink card. A pink card is a 2-hour watch, meaning I cannot go beyond 2 hours without notifying a staff where I'm located. They want to know where I'm at every single time. When I got placed in the Lompoc, how I end up in M unit with all the big dogs was because I had a pink card, 2-hour watch. M unit was specifically designed for people that had high security. They had to be watched. And we always had to notify a staff every 2 hours. If we miss notifying a staff, they're not going to ask us no questions. Why we didn't check in with the staff? They're just going to come lock us up in the shoe for a week until the next kick out or whatever they're going to do with you. Now, when I went to Beaumont, when I finally saw SIS, they reviewed my record. They see that I have assault on a staff. That always makes my time harder with the administration because they don't like it when you put your hands on their staff members. So, excuse me. So, he's looking through his stuff. He sees that I have assault on the staff. Then he sees that I got a disciplinary transfer for stabbing somebody. And he was just like, what are you, a badass? And you know me, I'm just like, nah, man, I'm just doing my time. He's like, listen, I really don't have no time to deal with you. I got too much shit going on in this yard. Just stay the fuck out my way. If I hear your name, if you get anything, you're going to ADX. Because at that time, Beaumont was a disciplinary spot. Like when you fucked up at other spot, they sent you to Beaumont. So now you got a yard full of active dudes that's running wild. And somehow I found myself there. And like I said, I've been on a 2-hour watch for this is about 8 years now. We're in 2006. So I've been on a 2-hour watch for about 6 years. And the SIS never even mentioned anything about me being on a 2-hour watch, about my pink card. I mean, they had 2-hour watch pink cards over there too. He was just like, listen, I don't want to hear your name. If your name come up, I'm not going to deal with you. I'm sending you to ADX. Because I got too much shit going on. And he kicked me out. So I'm like, damn, this place must be really rocking if they're not paying me no mind. And sure enough, just like the last episode, when we finally had breakfast or whatever, you got two dudes chopping each other up. But that's the environment I came into. Now, when I mentioned on some earlier episodes that the DC car ran the yards for the black, some people from Texas had some issue with it. But like I said, everything I tell you here is facts. I might get a couple details, maybe names wrong, or even a race wrong, whether it's Guamanian or Saipan or different nationality. But the politics in Beaumont was the Boston car, the white boys from Boston ran the white boys. Dude named Richie. For the DC, for the blacks, it was the DC. Now, when I say they run the yard, they don't got everybody in line marching and doing this. Everybody politics their own. Texas, Florida, North Carolina, the GDs, the Vice Lord, everybody politics their own. But come push to shove, if the DC car wants to insert themselves on what's going on, then they're going to insert themselves on what's going on. But right before I got there, they still had F block. They had all the DCs and the GDs in the shoot and locked down in that unit over there because of the confrontation that the GDs and the DC got into it. I don't know the details of that story, but they say the GDs went hard and all them dudes got locked up. In Beaumont, there's a lot of DC dudes. When you come out west, it's not so much. But when you get to the East Coast, man, there's a lot of them. And being on a yard with a lot of DC dudes is different because everybody from DC goes through the feds. There's no state prison in DC. They shut that shit down. So no matter what case you got, if you're from the District of Columbia, you're going to federal prison. So you have all sorts of different dudes. Now, they got rapists, they got child molesters, and they got rats. Because the DC gets broken down, they're all from DC, but then they got their own neighborhood, their own section, their own, the east side, the west side, however many. I don't live in DC, so I don't know the difference, how they run their shit over there. But it's all different cars. But if shit pop off with another car, with another race, they all come together. But in the meantime, in between time, they cannibalize each other. They rape each other. They rob each other. It's the best way for me to describe them is like they're a pack of hyenas. When they smell blood in the water, they're coming. There was Texas dudes that was going out to visits, getting work, coming back, and the DC's running up on them, pulling knives on them in the cell, stripping them out. And if you got it hooped up in your suitcase, they're digging it up in there and pulling it out. They're vicious like that. Like one day, I'm playing pool. Oh, Beaumont had 3 pool tables. I've never seen it. And they had 3 pool tables. What can I tell you? You got 3 pool tables in a penitentiary. But everybody understands that if there's any confrontation that goes on in that rec area, you better not use the pool ball and you better not use the pool stick. Because if you use the pool ball or the pool stick, then they're going to take that from the population. So everybody respects certain rules that we had. Well, any day, one evening I'm coming out to use the bathroom. The indoor rec is attached to the yard 3, where they have the basketball court and the handball court. And you got to walk outside to go use the latrine, to use the toilet. So when I come out, I see all the DCs grouped up. You know, they got a couple dudes on a table talking. And I'm like, damn, here we go again. It's about to be a riot or something because they're having a big ass powwow, right? So as I'm walking by, I'm not really trying to ear hustle. I'm just trying to get to the bathroom and come back because I don't really want to be out there, you know what I mean, in the middle of whatever they got going on. But of course, there's no way to plug your ear unless you're going to plug your ear. So I hear them like, yeah, man, we don't give a fuck about you turn nobody out, Slim. And I'm like, what? They're over there politicking about these DC dudes turning dudes out. Like some of you guys want to hear booty bandit stories. Listen, man, in bloody Beaumont, if you walk around like you got some sugar in your tank, they are running up on you. Period. Me and the homies on the yard, we used to bet. Like when the bus come off and they put you on the yard, you got to walk through between these gates, between the yard 2 and yard 1, and it's the gun tower, and there's a walkway. So when you're walking through there, everybody in the yard can see who's coming to the compound, and they're running up there. What's up, Slim? Where you from? What's up, cuz? What's up? They asking you to declare yourself because at this time, I mean at all times, but at this time in particular, there was a war going on. There was a war going on between the Paisas and the Texas MA and the TS and the Norteño. In Beaumont, there was Texas MA, TS, and the Norteños. And they had got into it with the Paisas. So now, no Paisa, no Mexican that ain't part of those 3 gangs can walk the yard or claim their gang. If you come on the yard, you're not a TS, a Texas MA, or a Norteño, then you got to run what they call a Solano, which is by yourself. And the TS speaks for the Solanos. If you come over there trying to claim your shit, you're just going to get butchered. So a lot of people that know what's going on in Beaumont, that ain't affiliated with those 3 individual Mexican gangs, they don't even come on the compound. And as far as the white boys go, for some reason, when the SAC out here from Utah caught their indictment, all the white gangs in the feds wasn't trying to let them walk the yard because they weren't trying to compete with them recruiting and becoming big and becoming a force in the feds. So every time a SAC dude get on the yard, they would jump on him. Not just in Beaumont, in Florence, everywhere. My lawyer that I had, she represented one of the SAC members during their indictment. So I get news and whatnot, what's going on with the homies from Utah. But whether you like these dudes from SAC or not, the ones that went to the feds, they held it down. They repped the 801. When they got jumped, when whatever happened with them on whatever yard, when the guards come to them in the shoe asking them, you ready to get kicked back out? They went back out every time. And they kept funking until eventually, through the course of the years, they walk the yard now. And a lot of them's been putting in work. Like later on in the next couple episodes, I'll tell you about one of the homies. He came over there with 7 years and is now sitting on death row in Texas. You know, I'm just trying to convey the environment they send you to. I've known people that have only had a couple years left, got killed. 7 days left, got killed. People come over there with 5, 6, 7 years and end up with life sentences. And a lot of time, it's really not even them or their beef, but just the environment that they're in. Because prison is full of miserable motherfuckers. You sitting here about to go home, But there's 100 other motherfuckers that are never going home. And a lot of people, you would think they would be happy that another man is being free, but a lot of them is miserable. So the saying goes, misery loves company. They envy you. And they have a mentality like, I'm not going home. So why the fuck should this motherfucker go home? But also, you got the predators waiting in the wings. And they feel like a lot of time when people get close to going home, they tone it down a little bit. They don't want to get into the funk, the confrontation, because they can see the door now and they don't want to fuck their time off. So a lot of dudes push up on them short timers because they know they might not want to fight back because they don't want to catch more time. That's why I've always told you I was always of the mentality until the day I left that I'm with it, because I feel like once you let off the gas, that's when the trouble comes. But if you're always prepared to do what it takes, you know, then people understand that they might not want to try you. But now we're in Beaumont, and I'm going to take you through Beaumont and all the chaos that's going on over there. You know, anybody that's not supposed to be on that yard, and if they don't know, when they come, they're getting butchered. Everybody in the compound knows this guy that just came off the compound is going to get butchered but him. You know, when you come into the penitentiary, you got to have some spider senses. If 3 guys approach you and ask you, hey, let's go talk over here around this corner where nobody can see us, you should have some spider senses saying, hey, maybe something is wrong. And if you look around you and the whole compound is quiet and staring at you, again, you should think that something is wrong. But over and over again, it happens the same way. We come out on the compound and everybody's like, look. And we look and there's 2 or 3 guys talking to one guy that's new, just came off the bus. And we already know a hit's about to happen. And somehow that one guy that just came off the bus gets talking to walking around the corner. He's like, yeah, let's go talk over here. Everybody on the compound is like this on the fence, waiting to see the action. And this dummy is unaware and is walking around the corner. And of course, he gets butchered. So if you're entering the penitentiary and somebody trying to have a conversation with you, if there's 2 or 3 of them in private, around a corner, in a blind spot, my advice, you better take off on them, because all they're doing is setting you up to get butchered. Welcome to the USP. We're now in bloody Beaumont, and shit's gonna get hairy. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Man, like always, subscribe, like, share. And if you was in bloody Beaumont with me, you was in Lompoc with me, Victorville, Atwater, man, hit me up. But tell me what the name that I know you by. I don't know your government name. So, till next time.